Sigamos emprendiendo una pola a la vez. Hace rato no venía por acá a publicarles un video y estaba en esta clase de liderazgo donde el examen final era reflexionar sobre los principales aprendizajes que logramos en esta clase. Así que quiero hacerlo y compartirlo con ustedes, incluso para poner en práctica esa vulnerabilidad. Entonces, para que sepan, lo estaré haciendo en inglés, entonces espero les guste. Acompáñenme. In Colombia, we have a tradition. So each New Year's Eve, we take 12 grapes and we eat each one of those grapes while thinking in an objective or a desire for the coming. However, in February, we don't recall anything and we continue with our lives. So, to solve this problem that I was having, that I didn't recall which my objectives were, I decided to create an exercise. This exercise is called the MAPA of objectives. So I took one wall in my bedroom and I divided it in four. The first quadrant is about relationships. How can I improve my relationships with other people? Second quadrant is about economic and professional affairs, things that have to do with work or maybe money. Third quadrant is about mental health, physical health, spiritual health, emotional health. How can I improve in those aspects? And finally, the fourth quadrant is about the present moment. How can I enjoy most the present moment, and how can I use the present moment to live a more fulfilling life? As I told you at the beginning of the video in Spanish, I took a course called Leadership, which was extremely useful to make some questions to myself, to think, to reflect, and to grab several insights that I want to share with you. And I'm going to use those insights to put them in my map of objectives. Let's start with the first quadrant. Remember, relationships. So I'm going to tell you a story. I was in another class called Founding a Startup, and we had to create a business plan. So I said to my teammates, if you want, we can start working with my idea. I have been working on it, so we can start from there. So we all agreed, and we started discussing, planning, and executing our business plan. However, there was one of our teammates who was pushing me forward, who was asking me a lot of questions. And I was very concentrated on just defending myself from what I perceived were his attacks. However, when I was able to sleep on his recommendations or his questions, I started to analyze that they were very, very valuable. And after a great exercise within one of our classes in leadership, I decided to listen more. When he was pushing, I started to ask him questions. Why? Or asking him, tell me more about what you think. And he started to develop his ideas, which were very, very valuable to tune in my business idea. And later on, I took some couple of beers with him to thank him for all the insight that he gave me. So the key takeaways for my relationship part of the quadrant is that I need to listen first and talk second. And why is that? When you listen, you can really know people on a deeper level. You can know about their motivations. You can know about what really matters to them. You can really know about what they want to share with you and grab several insights from them. Also, at least in my case, I personally get to be very defensive when people attack my ideas. But really, I should start listening more, so that I can understand what they want to share with me, analyze it, sleep on it, and evaluate it in a neutral way, so that I can grab everything that is valuable to me. It's a key characteristic, a key skill that we sometimes undervalue, but that is very, very valuable to be an excellent leader. In addition, how does this apply to entrepreneurship? Well, in entrepreneurship, you are generating change. So you have to lead for that change. And you have to build a cohesive team that will work towards a same and common goal. So when you listen to your teammates and you really and do active listening, they will feel very valuable. They will feel that they are important to you, and they will trust you, because that is something that is very needed to build a cohesive team that will go through all the difficulties in entrepreneurship. Second, what did I learn from my second quadrant, economic and professional affairs? Well, if I want to be the leader of my own company and hopefully my fast growing startup, I believe I have to be an exceptional leader and a very good manager. And what's the difference? Leaders lead change. They lead under uncertain situations. Therefore, the level of uncertainty is very high, and you will feel like you are in a roller coaster. On the other hand, management has to do with processes, with how you lead people under circumstances of certainty. Then you have to manage times, you have to manage tasks, you have to delegate a lot, because you will accomplish when they accomplish, and your accomplishment is their accomplishment. On the other hand, once again, the leader is more hands-on. He has to be there side by side to develop other ideas, to create something new, to inspire. So it's not that this style is better than this style. It's just that the two of them are needed in different situations. So in my case, I said that I want to be an exceptional leader because I want to lead, hopefully, a team of thousands of people that are working towards the same goal of helping people reach their highest potential. But when a company scales and now you have thousands of people, you have to build processes. You have to build an organization, hierarchies. You have to delegate more, and also trust more the work of other people. So also it's very important to know who to hire and to develop an organizational culture that promotes a learning environment, and an environment where all people feel included, where all people can share their ideas, where all people can be their own leaders. To round up this point, I want to highlight that it's important to stay humble, to know that we are going to make plenty of mistakes, to learn from those mistakes so that we can overcome that overconfidence bias. Now, let's reflect about the third quadrant, which is health in a general sense. And in my case, I focus a lot on emotional health. So, sometimes I feel that I put too much pressure on myself. And sometimes I feel that when I look externally, I see half of the glass full. But when I look to my interior and when I reflect on my work, I look the glass one half empty. And this generates a lot of emotional distress on me, because I'm always asking, am I doing the best with my time in this particular moment? Is this the best way of profiting my time? And I learned that I need to appreciate the learning process. And why is that? During that process is that we build ourselves. During that process is that we accomplish the evolution of our being. The ups and downs in life gets us stronger. So instead of thinking too low of myself, instead of putting too much pressure on myself, I want to start celebrating small steps, to really appreciate those small accomplishments that will lead me towards a bigger accomplishment, and then a bigger accomplishment. And it's like an athlete, that they become very resistant with exercise and with persistence, and really enjoying the moment. And another thing that I want to share with you, it's a question that I believe is going to be very valuable. And this question is, if they paid you 70% less for what you're doing now, would you still do it? And this is a very, very powerful question. Because if you still do it, it will be because you're passionate about it, because you're learning on the process, and you feel that it's really, really valuable. If not, maybe it's primarily because of the money. And long-term motivations, I believe, are based on intrinsic motivations. Motivations that are going to be sustained because you are feeling or you are fulfilling that self-realization that each of us strive for. So ask yourself that question, and I did it for myself. And when I did it for myself, I said I could do it for free. And then is how I discovered that this is my mission, and I will do it. I will pursue that mission with a lot of passion and motivation, because I know I am connected to that mission. Imagine yourself going to the Everest with 20 people. What do you think is the objective of the expedition? Reaching the summit or coming back alive? And I believe the objective is to come back alive. And more than that, to learn from all the process and to enjoy all the process. Because I cannot be sure, but I believe that the particular moment where you reach the summit is not necessarily the most pleasant memory of the journey, or the moment that in which you learn the most. So what I learned during this class, for this quadrant, the fourth quadrant, the present moment, is to be present and to enjoy the moment and take advantage of every moment. For example, I need to learn to be more humble and to enjoy each conversation with anyone, because they can provide insight, they can provide a different point of view or a good story. Once again, listen more. Or also, I always, or not always, but many times, I just concentrate into reaching that summit, reaching that objective. But I go sometimes like this, and I lose various opportunities to get to learn other things, to know other people, to hear others' perspective, because I'm just very focused in the future, in reaching that summit, instead of, for example, meeting people in the process, learning about their experiences, hearing good advice. So, also, to add on this, I want to learn from the present moment to be more collaborative and to get the power of group thinking in the good sense of the word. Because the crowds are wise, and if you get to know the perspective of lots of people, you will get to analyze the situation in a more complete way, so that you can take sounder decisions and wiser decisions. To end today's chapter, I want to leave you with this message: the power of vulnerability. And why is that? Because to be a leader, you'll need to have courage. And courage starts when you let yourself be vulnerable. So I hope you like this chapter in English. Let me know what you think. And this was my own way of showing vulnerability to all of you. Entonces, sigamos emprendiendo una pola a la vez y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo. Chao, chao.